Where I come from, streets is made of gold. Trapping like the new me, going back like the old me. On my back like Yoshi, yeah. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Can't beat them, join them. One life, enjoy it. Live like you royal, hell with purpose, let's destroy it. You think I'm joking? It's every word that's spoken. And rap these days is trapping crazy, can get away with anything with 808s. They spell and pray and swell your brain, you fade away, your soul decay. They dig and graze, I'm A-okay. Just fast and pray, there'll come a day, a price to pay like Sally May, you in debt. So cast away your regrets, I digress. They regress, they treat girls like objects. They play around like recess, this rap game is nonsense. They big mad cause we bless, a goon to a goblin. You offset, I onset, I'm onset with wine in my goblet. You whining for God, I just pulled out the projects assigned to these haters. I feed off your comments, shake greed off my palms and take knees like I'm Colin. Take heat or just rot and just bleed while you falling in. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Sitting waiting, sinning lately, getting lazy, lighting up, you getting hazy. Kinda light just doesn't faze me, hating things that rap portraying. Ricky Bobby shaking bacon, Ricky Bobby shaking, me and Evo breaking up. I just hung up on the plug. Look at me like, why you bugging? Now they all like, what the what? Look at them like, why you thugging? Want my soul, want my gifts, want my heart for fame and money. Gotta admit, I almost did it, turn around and started running. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Man, it's too early in the morning for this shit. But let's get it. Yeah. Ayy, all of y'all talking, but I just went. Papa Swole, put nuts on they chin. Like Everest and K2 get mounds of cash. Looked in the crowd, saw my name on the ass. You made them bands, now your money is spent. I stash away about 40%. Empire with honey like I'm Gary V. My bennies are blue, but the product is green. I'm dropping slappers to hell with an album. Might fuck around and go see Jimmy Fallon. I multiply while you bury your talents, cause I'm like a hawk when I bury my talents. Guess what I'm saying? I pray on these niggas. There was a day when I'd pray for these niggas. Now I got nothing to say to these niggas. I pray that God does away with these niggas. I keep my friends close, but my enemies closer. My mental is gross, but my verses are kosher. These girls going wild, but I'm not a poacher, so I just keep shining like Elon, I'm solar. All of y'all talking, but I just went. Papa Swole, put nuts on they chin. Like Everest and K2 get mounds of cash. Looked in the crowd, saw my name on the ass. You made them bands, now your money is spent. I stash away about 40%. Empire with honey like I'm Gary V. My bennies are blue, but the product is green. Gotta make this money, only game I know. I'm the only king, this ain't no Game of Thrones. Everybody wanna be a fucking king until it's time to do what a king does. Everywhere I look, it's just kids and drugs. Everywhere I look, it's just gangs and thugs. Can't tame the guns, can't save our loved ones. I grew my funds and I called the plug. Then I filled my lungs, I don't mess with that new shit. Y'all talking tough, but ain't none of y'all do shit. Y'all chasing money, you want the exposure. Y'all think y'all funny and snake Gucci loafers. I don't give disclaimers, I rap full disclosure. These niggas all think they were born in October. The only thing different between you and I is that I also have stacks on, plus stacks when I'm older. Stacks when I'm older. Yeah, stacks when I'm older. The only thing different between you and I is that I also have millions in cash when I'm older. All of y'all talking, but I just went. Papa Swole, put nuts on they chin. Like Everest and K2 get mounds of cash. Looked in the crowd, saw my name on the ass. You made them bands, now your money is spent. I stash away about 40%. Empire with honey like I'm Gary V. My bennies are blue, but the product is green. money, it comes out on tap. Trying to stay private, but I got them groupies. Owe me in private, but don't get all choosy. Bust out the bubble and in with the newbie. FTLOG on the top with the blue jeans. Y'all got the diamonds and I got the rubies. I got the rubies, I got the rubies. She call me Captain, but I got no cap. I make this money, it comes out on tap. Trying to stay humble, but I get real moody. Try not to stumble, but she a real cutie. Bust out the bubble and in with the newbie. FTLOG on the top with the blue jeans. Y'all got the diamonds and I got the rubies. I got the rubies, I got the rubies.
Swole Normath.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and y'all hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beescast is brought to you as powered is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you bees. Fam, welcome to the show. Welcome to 3359. We're going to jump right into today's episode. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe on Rumble and YouTube at The Daily Swole. And of course, you can listen to the podcast stream on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Make sure you take a moment and leave a 5-star review. We are going to jump into a couple Swole fan posts. Reminder, we have some new merch and new actual merch items that dropped. So if you have not yet checked out papaswolio.com, those specials are ending this week. Brand new drop over at papaswolio.com, 1776% natty. I think that's one of the best. That's an all-time design right there. 1776% natty. Buy one, get one 50% off, now available over there at papaswolio.com. So check that out. We also have brand new zip hoodies. And we have a bunch of different styles that will be dropping shortly. So go and check out the new merch items, as well as fanny packs. We got the F Your Feelings, GTTFG. We got the Subway design. We got the Fire design. We got the Cybertruck design. We have the Swolenormous fanny pack. So check out all the brand new stuff over there at papaswolio.com. Buy one, get one 50% off. Let's jump into a couple Swole fan posts. If you're watching on Rumble and YouTube at The Daily Swole, hashtag it's all reps for a chance to win today's Swole card. And if you're watching on Instagram, you could drop your questions in the comments. We'll get to some questions in a second. And let's get into Swole fan posts first, and then we'll do some questions. So first one today is from Alva.
What's in the box?
And this is from the Swolenormous app. Join the fam over at swolenormousx.com. We have some membership specials right now. So if you're interested, you can get access to the app, all of our programs, hundreds of yoga classes you could stream to your TV, schedule in your calendar, custom playlists, and the community section. Got a lot of stuff over there in the Swolenormous app. Check it out, swolenormousx.com. Alba says, hello, fam. Looking for some guidance on supplements. I'm 50 years old and 5'8", weighing in at approximately 262 pounds. Obviously, I need to lose a lot of weight and build muscle, mainly creatine, and any recommendations on that would be greatly appreciated. So anyone wants to drop your supplement recommendations, I would recommend creatine, a CreaPure supplement that uses CreaPure. That's a really good quality creatine ingredient for creatine. vitamin D, magnesium glycinate, and collagen. Those are my go-to supplements I would recommend pretty much everyone take. So that's a great standard. Of course, raw liver, beef liver is fantastic also. I will get into another post if you want to drop in what are your go-to supplements? If you're watching on Instagram or you're watching on Rumble, drop in the comments. We'll read some of your responses. What are your go-to supplements? But those are my big four that I would recommend. And electrolytes. I would recommend electrolytes. Salt, a high-quality salt. And that can go along with the magnesium. This one's from Will. Will says, morning fam, just popping in with a random thought I had while on my walk today. It's funny to me how your brain will adapt to even the most mundane things, as simple as a music playlist. Like many in the fam, I'm sure, I grew up through the 80s and 90s listening to tapes and CDs where you bought an album and would play it to death, since we obviously didn't have the endless supply of music we have nowadays. Remember when we had to shuffle on a CD so you at least didn't have to listen to it in order? Yep, that was living large. Now when you hit shuffle on your music, it plays a second song from a band you've already heard that week, let alone from the same album. I mean, what kind of fresh hell is that? We've become so accustomed to so much variety and abundance, I will sometimes actually get annoyed by this. This isn't the first time I noticed this about myself, so for the next little while, I'm going old school, and we'll just pick an album and listen to the whole thing before changing it up. I know it may sound silly, but I'm not a fan of that spoiled feeling for myself. Anyway, keep doing what you do, fam. Hashtag stay positive, GTTFG, and 7 pillars. I love it. I do remember. I also remember that when you listened to an album, you had to play the last track for like 20 minutes. And you sometimes get like bonus track. Remember that? The last one would just go for 10, 15 minutes, and then there'd be a bonus song or some bonus stuff at the end of the CD or the tape. So yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. It's the same thing with books. Books are better. Look, a lot of times I will buy, it's convenient to have it on a Kindle, but I'll also buy the actual physical book. It depends on where I want to read. If I'm traveling or I go somewhere, it's easy to bring your Kindle because you could bring 1,000 books in one place, or your iPad or something. So I understand the benefits of having an e-reader of sorts, and there's different types of e-readers and things like that. But I like to see the books on my bookshelf. So even if I buy a book and I'll read it on my Kindle, I'll also buy the physical book because I like to see it. I like to visually see the book. And plus, you can't take the book away from you. If power goes out, the Kindle can last for a while and such. But if they delete your Kindle account or your Amazon account, or they delete your Amazon Prime, all the movies you bought on Prime are now gone. So I like to see things. I do miss DVDs. I have a DVD player somewhere. And of course, I bought a bunch of movies on Prime and stuff like that just because it's convenient. But I do like the idea of going back and just buying actual DVDs and putting a movie in and choosing something. I do miss that. And I think there is something special about it. It's not just, I remember back in the day we used to. I see these posts on X and stuff about Blockbuster, the nostalgic stuff. But it was an event. You went with your family. You saw your friends. You saw people there. You went and you chose a movie or you chose a video game. It was a whole process. You didn't just have everything at your fingertips. There's benefits, but it's so easy. But I like having the physical things because you can't take them away. You can't just cancel your Amazon account and then you don't have any of the movies that you bought. So you own them as long as they allow you to own them. It's convenient, but there's downsides. You need the internet to play them. I guess you need power to play DVDs and stuff, but books don't need power. So I love books. I still buy books. I buy books all the time. So I remember. Let's get into a couple more comments. What are your go-to supplements? What are your go-to supplements? If you're just joining, we got some new merch. Look at this one. Brand new Swole Rats. Talk about throwback to the 90s. You guys remember this on Instagram? You guys remember the Swole Rats? Swole Rats show? It was originally the Swole Rats. They changed it to Rugrats. So it's like that with all the merch. These were all my ideas and I've never gotten paid for them. They're my IP and they changed it. It was Forrest Pump. They changed it to Forrest Gump. It was Lats. They changed it to Jaws. Jurassic Pump. They changed it to Jurassic Park. So my ideas I've been getting ripped off for decades. Loretta says elimination diet for a start. I agree. Martial arts mama. Magnesium glycinate, electrolytes, collagen, and vitamin D. Oh, I agree. Let's see. Raw liver, magnesium glycinate, vitamin D3, whey protein. Sterling says amino acid blend, magnesium, B complex, vitamin A, E, and D, protein, creatine, fish oil. Well, everyone's got pretty much the same things with a couple variations. I agree. Sterling says now everything is subscription. You think you own that digital copy? LOL. Exactly. I buy it. I know I don't own it. I don't really own it. It could just disappear from my folder. So every time I do that, or I'll buy something, I'll only buy a video or something on Amazon Prime if I'm going to rent it anyway. So renting is one thing. All right, I want to watch it. I'll pay $2.99 or $3.99 to rent a movie. I don't care. But if it's normally $14.99 and to buy it's $4, I'm like, all right, well, I may as well buy it if I'm going to rent it. So that's usually what I do. I'll just buy it if I'm going to watch it more than once. But every time I do, I think, man, I should just be buying the DVDs. I have a DVD collection. Not like a massive one, but I remember it's like 25 years ago. I bought every single Arnold movie. And I used to watch even all like the real bad ones and stuff. Hercules in New York. I bought all the DVDs. I don't even know if I have that. I think I still have it somewhere. It's in my bin with my Nintendo 64 and my Xbox. And my Nintendo. All my old school stuff. That's the worst. Everything's a subscription where you want to watch a movie. It's, hey, if you want to watch this movie, you have to sign up for Paramount Plus. I'm like, no, I'm not signing up for a membership to watch one fucking movie. It's retarded. All right, let's get into some more questions. Drop your questions in the comments and we will take a couple. We'll take one from Instagram stories. If you got them live, you're watching on Rumble and YouTube. Drop it in the comments. Hashtag AskPapaSwolio. Miguel Tovar Silos. What would be the average that I need to work out daily? I mean time. Irrelevant. How long you work out is absolutely irrelevant. It all comes down to your split, your volume, your intensity, what you're trying to do. Stop asking how long you need to work out. That's just nonsensical. The time doesn't matter. You shouldn't be working out for 5 hours, but... Junior Coombs, cannabis and training, ? I don't see how it's going to help you. I'm sure some people prefer it or like it. I wouldn't say there's many benefits. But if you're going to the fucking gym and that's the only way you're going to go to the gym, I'm sure it'll work out in your favor. Generally not a benefit to your life. Ahmed Saib. Papa Swolio, what sports do you do for cardio? I don't do sports. Sports? You mean activities? I did the VersaClimber today. And then I like doing the VersaClimber for like 10 minutes or something. Just doing some intervals. I'll do a minute or a minute and a half or something like that, slow. And then I'll do a 10, 20 second sprint and I'll do 2 or 3 rounds of like all out sprint and I'll go right in the sauna. So that was nice. So sauna, VersaClimber. VersaClimber is great. I love it. If you've never used one, it's the hardest form of cardio. I'm convinced. It's brutal. It's brutal. All right. I will take this one on Rumble. If you guys are watching on Instagram, you want to catch the full show, subscribe on Rumble or YouTube at The Daily Swole, and plus you'll get all the sound effects and the high quality audio, which is what everyone else is getting. Also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Papa Swolio, my buddy keeps swearing by drop sets, though I heard you say the other day that it's pointless. Why do people think it's beneficial? Because it's exhausting and you'll get a pump, right? You'll flood a lot of blood into the muscles, but it's not giving you a beneficial stimulus. So you're using your stimulus for the first set and then dropping the weight going to a drop set. You're not getting more. It's just more fatigue. The mechanical tension is less. Remember, it's progressive overload. So Sterling, let's say last time you trained, you did let's just say curls, right? You did 45 pounds for 6 reps. You want to get 45 pounds for 7 reps or for 8 reps, or you want to do 50 pounds for 6 reps, right? You want to progressively overload. So let's say you did 45 pounds for 7 reps or 8 reps. You did a little bit more weight, or you got another rep or two. Doing a drop set right after, dropping to like 25s or 30s, that's not more mechanical tension, that's less. You might feel more fatigued and you're more exhausted because of calcium ions and et cetera, but you're not lifting more weight. It's objectively less. So you're not getting that progressive overload. It's more fatiguing and exhausting, but you're not getting the overload. So muscle building is very simple. It's very straightforward with increasing mechanical tension over time, progressively. Lifting more weight, lifting that same weight for more reps. But there's a lot of things, these finishers, the drop sets, the supersets, there are things that you can do. There are certain strategies that you can use to save time in the gym, depending on your split. And depending on how you do it, it might not be as negative. But if you're trying to maximize the stimulus, you need to recover between sets. You need to rest like 2 or 3 minutes, depending on the exercise. You guys know if you do an intense set on squats or leg press or something, you're going to need probably 4, 5, 6 minutes, right? You're not going to be doing a set of 5, 6, 7 reps close to failure and doing 2 minutes of rest. You're not going to be, your legs are still going to be like on fire, pumped, and you're going to be out of breath probably, right? You want you don't want there to be a cardio component to your lifting. So if you're doing a heavy, intense compound set, you don't want to be out of breath and starting your next set. Chill. Set a timer and see approximately. That way you know you're not going too soon, but then you can also associate how you feel with how long it takes. Like, oh, I feel great. And you look and you're like, oh, that's 3 minutes. Okay, so about 3 minutes maybe. If you're doing bicep curls or something with like forearm extensions, right? Or you're doing shoulders, you're not going to need as much recovery. If you're doing heavy barbell squats, you're going to need much more recovery from an intense set than if you're doing, tricep pushdowns. It's just less fatiguing, less exhausting. Because remember, it's not just locally in the muscle, it's your central nervous system. And your central nervous system, you only have one brain, you have one spinal cord, you have one heart. I mean, you have one central nervous system. So that's what's stimulating your muscles. That's what's stimulating your muscles for that action. So the more sets you do and the more fatigue you do, the less you're able to even get a stimulus for another exercise. That's why doing 1 set for an exercise and maybe doing doing lat pull downs, 2 sets of lat pull downs, and then 2 sets of, let's say, T-bar rows, you might be better off doing 1 set all out of lat pull downs than 1 set all out of T-bar rows. Because you're more fresh when you get to that second exercise. It really depends on your split, but just understand that for every set that you do, the first set is going to be the most stimulus. The first set of an exercise and the first working set of an exercise and the first set of your workout. And the deeper you go in a workout, the less stimulus you're getting for any body part. And it doesn't mean don't push yourself. It means push yourself really hard, but it means be smart about your training. Be smart about your volume. Be smart about your exercise selection, right? It means be smart about how you approach your sets. You don't want to stack the most exhausting exercises all together. If you're doing full body or doing legs, my recommendation is not to start with something like hack squats. I wouldn't do that first. I'd probably do that in the middle or last because I'd be really exhausted with everything else if I did the most fatiguing exercise first. Swole, I read an article not too long ago that people who wait minutes between sets grew 30% more muscle than those who didn't wait as long. Yeah, because you're stronger for a reason. So if you do a set and you rest 30 seconds, you're not going to be able to lift as much. If you wait 3-4 minutes, you're going to be able to have another great set. And remember, you don't need a lot of working sets. You just need better warm-ups. And a lot of people don't warm up properly. They don't progress their warm-ups properly. They don't do enough warm-up sets, or they don't do warm-up sets close towards their working set weight. If you're doing 2 sets for an exercise and you're able to get more reps on that second set, you didn't warm up enough. Your warm up wasn't sufficient. Your first set should be the strongest set. If your second set is a stronger set, then you didn't warm up properly for that exercise. All right. Drop your questions in the comments. You could ask anything, and I'll see what pops up in the chat. Will Natoli on Instagram stories. Best chest exercise for when going to the fucking gym. Well, there is no best. I would recommend some sort of a converging chest press if you have access to it, but not all chest presses are good. Some of them suck. But I would say a chest press or a fly. Like a pec deck or some sort of a chest press. That's all there is. And you don't need to do both in the same workout. It's redundant. You know, the chest just brings the arm towards the midline. So you could just do pec deck. If your elbows are fatigued, if your triceps are more fatigued, if you want to do something like a JM press for triceps, or you want to bias your triceps a little bit more for training, you could leave pressing behind for a little bit. You could just focus on doing and progressively overlaying the pec deck, that horizontal adduction. You don't have to be doing tons of pressing movements. A lot of times people do chest pressing and then they do flat and then incline and then shoulder pressing and then JM press or dips, and they're doing a lot of elbow extension. They get tendonitis, they get overuse injuries. So you have to understand when to cycle through. And remember, if you're doing full body or you're doing upper lower, you could have a few different upper days and just cycle through them. Not every workout needs to be the same exercise in the same order. You can have 2 or 3 different upper body or leg days and then just kind of rotate them through over the course of 2 weeks and just rotate 3 or 4 different exercises through. That way you get a little bit of a different mix. It's a little bit more stimulating mentally. You get a little variety, but it's the same overall movements. You just don't want to change your workouts all the time. You don't want to be doing random exercises every time. That's why CrossFit's not effective. That's why a lot of injuries happen, because you're not prioritizing specific movements and you're doing a lot of random programming. With random programming meaning it's not programming. You're doing a lot of random shit to failure, things that don't mix. And that's why there's so many injuries. So if you're doing chest, you don't need to do flies and a press in the same workout. It's redundant. Doesn't mean you can't, but it's redundant. John McAllister, not really what you expect, but do you have advice for coping after being dumped? Yeah, go to the fucking gym. Focus on yourself. Join the Swole fam if you want, swolenormousx.com. But go to the gym, learn, educate yourself, build skills, make money, focus on you. Move on. Go to the fucking gym, get jacked. It's the best thing you can do is take care of yourself and build yourself mentally and physically. Go to the fucking gym. Okay, Sindo on Instagram. I don't seem to build muscle. See if can I pin these? I'm trying to read it. I don't seem to build muscle. I lost weight and kept my muscle mass the same, but I can't seem to gain. How is this possible turning 40? I don't know if that makes sense. Are you getting stronger? You can't maintain muscle. Either you're building muscle or you're losing muscle. So if you're not getting stronger, you're not building muscle. It sounds like a good thing. What's the concern? I'm 42. I'm going to be 42 in like a week or two. So you can build muscle at any age. You'll just be able to build more muscle when you're younger, just higher testosterone and stuff. But you can build muscle at any age. Sterling, the concept muscle confusion, changing your movement, is that a myth? Yeah, it's a myth. That was something that got popularized by P90X. Your muscles don't get confused. That's a stupid thing. It's actually the exact opposite of how you build muscle. So muscle confusion is not how you build muscle. That's actually just neurological adaptations. So that's more like alarm reaction. So if you do a novel exercise, you'll get sore. So if you're doing random shit all the time, you'll get sore from your training because you're doing new movements and you're doing random stuff. But you're not actually building muscle or adapting. You're just shocking the muscles. And shocking the muscles doesn't grow the muscles. The muscles grow when you progressively overload over time and they adapt to that movement. So you want more consistency in your programming. That's why bodybuilding and strength training is very consistent over time. And people get impatient, they quit. It takes months to see the benefits of a training protocol. So if you just started doing a different split and you're trying these new exercises and you're trying this new protocol, you need to do it for 3, 4, 5 months to see. And you have to go all in on it. You have to make sure you're consistent with it and doing it properly. Progressive overload is the only way you're building muscle. That's how you build muscle. The muscles don't get confused. There's no brain in your muscles. And like, oh, I don't know. I can't expect this coming. The bicep, because like the muscle only does this. The biceps just does this, right? It does supination. It does some shoulder flexion. It does elbow flexion. Fine. But it does this. The difference is like where the stress is. If you're using a cable and you're using a preacher curl, so it's heavier at the bottom and a little bit lighter at the top, or lighter at the bottom and heavier at the top. You know, there's different mechanical tension, which can lead to some soreness and the muscle spindles and this, that, and the other, and maybe stretch mediated hypertrophy if you're new to training. Most body parts, that's just newbie gains for the stretch. You know, aside from calves, for example, calves still benefit from stretch mediated hypertrophy. That's why the stretch is so important, holding that for 3 to 5 seconds when you're doing calf raises. But if you're not getting stronger, you can get stronger without building muscle with neurological adaptations, but you're not going to be building muscle without getting stronger. You can get stronger without building muscle. So people that go to the gym and they're new, they'll see their strength going up rapidly. You do new exercise, you'll see your strength going up rapidly in the first few sessions, but that's not muscle. That's just neurological adaptations and coordination and getting your form in order. Tony, which cardio is better, running at flat place or incline decline? Or you don't have to run. Why are you running? Are there bears around you? Sprints are better. You just walk on an incline if you're just doing general cardio. People obsess about fucking cardio. It's the weirdest thing. People obsess about fucking cardio. It's 2025, lift weights. If you want to look like someone who does cardio, then do cardio. You don't want to look like someone that does cardio all the time. No one does. Everyone wants to look like someone who has muscle. So guess what you have to do for muscle? You have to build muscle. You have to lift heavy weights. Everyone wants to look like someone that lifts heavy weights, but not lift the heavy weights to get it there. So enough with the cardio stuff. But sprinting is great. Sprinting is great. You don't need to do a lot of it too. You can do 10, 15 minutes of cardio a couple days a week. That's what I do. I'll do the Versa Climber for 5 minutes or so. I'll do some sprint intervals, 5, 10 minutes, and then I go into the sauna. Walking's great. Walking's great. Has nothing to do with fat loss, man. Has nothing to do with fat loss. That's your energy balance. That's your muscle mass and your metabolic rate and your insulin sensitivity. Cardio doesn't help you lose fat more. Walking's good. I mean, you're going to metabolize fat. Fat's a substrate. That's where your body's going to oxidize fat if you're at a low intensity, but not much. You can go for a walk and get your steps in, but it's not going to like radically transform your physique. You need to build muscle. The fastest way to make changes with your physique is to build muscle and go for walks. And you could, use some cardio as like a sprinkling, but don't beat yourself up with the cardio stuff, man. Don't be doing tons of like long duration, lower moderate intensity jogging and running. It's not really running. You're jogging. Even for people that run 5 miles, that's a jog. That's a low pace. They're not sprinting. Sprinting is great. Sprinting intervals, that's fine. The long distance running, you're not going to build a lot of muscle mass, a lot of joint injuries and stuff. Most people don't run properly. Terrible form, heel to toe running on pavement, these big moon shoes. It's not how you're supposed to run. Sprints. So hill sprints are great. If you want to go on a treadmill, just walk on like a slight incline or something like that. But there's nothing wrong with walking on a treadmill for an hour and just getting some steps in. That's good. It's good for your body. It's good for your brain too. But go outside. Walk outside. Go experience nature. Get some sun. Go walking. Love the shirt. Thank you. All right. We'll take some more questions. Only taking questions right now. So, and then we have a throwback at the end of today's episode. VP J7, what rotation thing you're doing and what's it good for? Club swinging, great for the joints. Great for grip strength. Clubs, maces, and meals. That's the last question on Instagram. Cool. All right. So we'll take some more questions. And if you have more, drop in the comments. We'll go through a couple of posts on X, some different topics. This post was shared to attend the University of Miami. Now, the greatest scam in history is the college and university system in this country. Greatest scam ever. It's just an indoctrination center. It gets you into debt, doesn't teach you jack shit. It doesn't. College is a scam. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't fucking do it. Go get a job, learn AI, get on the cutting edge of where technology is going. You do not need to go to business. You go to business school. That's the biggest waste of time. Marketing degrees and business school is the biggest scam. I got my master's in business. No one fucking cares. Go open a business. Go start a business. You'll learn more about a business by starting a business. And you won't be $300,000, $400,000 in debt. So anyway, $98,118 cost of attendance for full-time undergraduate students living on campus for the 24 to 25 school year to go to UMiami. If you're living on campus, $100,000, that's $400,000. How is that possible for undergraduate? That's fucking insane. And you're doing what? An art degree? What are you doing? Liberal arts or some shit? What a scam. The greatest scam in history next to the Federal Reserve. That's why I posted. Let's see. Let's just go through the X-Files. We'll just call them the X-Files because that's what they are. Shared this post from Leela Hormozy. Everyone wants to know what successful people do. Nobody wants to know what successful people don't do. The second list often matters more. And I said, no is the greatest complete sentence. Yeah. No. Say no more. No is a complete sentence. 100%. 100%. So I think it was yesterday. Trump posted this about Coca-Cola. You probably heard this. The title of today's episode is Trump demands that cocaine be put back in Coca-Cola. So he writes, I've been speaking to Coca-Cola about using real cane sugar in Coke in the United States, and they have agreed to do so. I'd like to thank all of those in authority at Coca-Cola. This will be a very good move by them. You'll see it's just better. Okay, real sugar, it's also still garbage and a ton of fucking sugar, so don't drink that poison. I love how, like, putting sugar in Coke does not make the Coke better. It's all literal trash. So I said, not good enough, bring back the cocaine. If you put cocaine in Coca-Cola, I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm in. Give me the cocaine. Put the cocaine back in it. Why are you pussyfooting with the sugar? I want the actual Coke. Make Coke great again. Alex says, I'm getting ready for a certification in promotional marketing. What does that mean? What does that mean? What is that good for? You'll learn more about marketing just by going on social media and learning how to promote a product. You know? I mean, most of this stuff is just a scam unless something just like requires you to do that, which does make it less of a scam, right? You need a personal training certification to train at a gym, but most of these certifications are dog shit and doesn't mean that you know what you're talking about. But yeah, I mean, getting into massive debt is just the stupidest thing. Learn a trade, learn a skill. Learn a trade, learn a skill. Start a business. Learn something that is valuable to society and then trade that value for money. That's how you do. Stay humble, stack sats. You'll learn about business and marketing by starting a business and doing marketing. There you go. Sterling says maybe he was confused originally and then realized it was cane sugar, not cocaine. I say Let's go. We're going to have the greatest Coke. They said my Coke was going to be bad. It's not true. It's not true. It's better than Biden's Coke. Biden didn't know how to do Coke. Hunter Biden did Coke. I'm actually putting the Coke back in Coca-Cola. We're going to make Coke great again.
Come on, man.
We're going to make it bigly. Coke is big, but we're going to make it bigly. Even bigger. It's going to be better. The best Coke ever. No one Coke's harder than me. We're gonna make it Hunter Biden Coca-Cola. Now with Hunter Parmesan. Hunter flavored. Yeah, put the Hunter back in Coca-Cola. Going to the gym after 3 years, I have gained 20 kilograms. Any suggestions? What do you mean? You gained 50 pounds? Yeah, go to the fucking gym. Any suggestions? Don't stop going. I'm fat. I'm going to the gym. Any suggestions? Good. Again, people going to the gym is only part of it. You have to do the shit properly. Get on a quality strength training program and learn how to eat properly. And it's the same thing. Same questions every day. Get after it. Do it. To convince your parents to let you go to the gym? If you need your parents' permission, you're probably too young to go to the fucking gym. Or you need to get a job so you can pay for the gym yourself. How is that a thing to convince your parents? What parent would not want their child exercising? That's retarded. You're going to lift weights and do what? Get healthier? That's wild. Unless you're 10 years old, and I understand why they wouldn't want you going to the gym. All right, last chance for questions. If they're bad questions, they probably will get ghosted. But drop a question in the comments. Thank you. Please don't spam the chat. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate you. Can you stop posting the same thing? I'm going to remove you, my dear. I appreciate your comments, but Jesus Christ, stop dropping the same one over and over again. How much do I weigh? It fluctuates. About 215 to 220. I think today I was 218 something. Is BCAAs really important for exercise? BCAAs are, but not the supplement. You don't have to take. I don't take BCAAs. That's more of a joke. You don't need that stuff. Protein has plenty for you. You don't need to supplement with it. Or I don't, at least. What beard oil do I use? Main Gains. And we'll have that for sale. Actually, it's going to be live for sale probably at the end of this month on papaswolio.com. We have our own beard oil. Hair and beard oil. Really excited for releasing that. All right. Cool. We'll wrap up. We're going to continue the show. We're going to do a throwback, and then we're going to give away the Swole card, and then we're going to do a throwback. And if you want to catch the rest of the show, join us over on Rumble and YouTube. All right. Cool. Bookworm Addict. How do you lose underarm fat? By eating better and lifting heavy weights. Getting your hormones in order. So if you have fat under your arms, you need to eat better, eat less garbage, and eat less inflammatory food. Get your gut fixed. Probably have leaky gut. Caloric surplus. A lot of estrogenics. Make sure you're not on birth control, hormonal birth control, and all these different deodorants and soaps and shampoos and lotions and stuff that have toxic chemicals and plastics and phthalates, and get better sleep and get sunlight, get vitamin D. All these things might sound overwhelming, but that's what it takes. You have a lot of toxins in your environment, I'm sure. Plus the quality of your food. The quality of your food, lifting heavy weights, improving your insulin sensitivity. And it takes time too. It takes time. And the card, it's all reps, means that too. Whatever you're trying to get better at. You want to get better at business. You want to get better at marketing. You want to get better at minimizing body fat. It's all reps. It's practice. You got to practice whatever the skill is, whatever the task is at hand. So let's give away the Swole card, and then we'll do a throwback. Falcon. Excuse me. Let's take it away. We got a winner. Today's Schwinner is Rye Guy 44. Congratulations. Alrighty. Ombre says, waiting for main gains. I know. We all are, but it's coming soon. Rye Guy, congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3359, the subject, or mailing address in the body of the email. All right. Excellent. Fantastic. It's great. It's great. And we do have a throwback today. We're going to take, this one. Let's do this one. Let's do this one. A little frightening. Jump scare. Little jump scare here.
What's in the box?
What we got here?
The only thing you can tell by looking at a larger person's body is the depth of your own fat phobia.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
You know nothing about their health status,
Wrong.
their relationship with food.
Wrong.
You know nothing about their morality.
In some cases, I do.
None of it. The only thing that you're encountering
Is a morbidly obese
is your
person.
own anti-fat bias
Wrong.
that's been internalized.
Shut up, bitch!
Yeah. The only thing I'm encountering is you projecting your own insecurities and your desire to have a fulfilling heterosexual relationship rather than having 10 cats, and your womb is all dried up so you can't have kids and you're miserable about it. How's that for an assessment on a video? Let's break down a couple of these retarded points. The only thing you can tell by looking at a larger person's body, I'm not talking about a larger person. I'm not talking about Manute Bol. I'm not talking about Shaq. I'm talking about a fat person.
Bol.
I know nothing about their health status. They're not healthy. Why? I can see that. You can't be morbidly obese and healthy. Oh, man. I love that stuff. You can't tell if someone's healthy. Look, if I go to Walmart, I see someone who's 400 pounds. Yeah, they're not healthy. But you can't tell what... Of course I can. Of course I can. Of course I can. Let's go back to this. Let's go back to this for a second, okay? Let's go back to this for a second. All right? A lot of people were... people are freaking out online like, I don't know, she's great. She's totally fine. I'd hit it. Like, that's fine. You can have a fat fetish. But objectively, I don't care about the picture on the right, but let's just look at, the video. Okay, fine. Maybe this looks like it's fine. Look, if you think she looks good, that's your opinion, but she's still fat, man. She still let it go. She says she eats what she wants. She doesn't look like she lifts weights or exercise. She definitely doesn't eat well. Like, you don't have to be soggy like that. You could tell. You could tell when someone, you've gained a ton of weight. Oh, but she's 46 and has 3 kids. Fine. I'm 42 and but you're a man. It's like, okay, fine. You can still think that's attractive, but I'm just saying that people don't have any concept of what actually in shape is. You know how I know this? Do you know how I know? If you go on Daily Mail or any of these places and it shows a celebrity, right? And it shows a celebrity like, oh, so-and-so's looking ripped on their yacht or whatever, and they have a gut and they look like they've never lifted in their life. The fact that our society, it's weird because you guys, if you're paying attention to fitness stuff, you see a lot of people that are on steroids or like shredded, and you're in the industry and you're in nature or you're out in public. People have no concept of what fat is because everyone's fat. That's my point. Everyone's fat. So no one has a concept and no one has any relation as to what isn't fat. Fat is average. Most people are fucking obese. So when you see someone who's obese, like, that person looks normal, I'd hit it. It's because you look like that. And your wife looks like that. And everyone you work with looks like that. Everyone looks like shit, so you think that's normal. Well, she looks normal. We have to stop glamorizing people that take care of their bodies, right? We have to stop glamorizing all this plastic surgery. I'm not saying we should glamorize plastic surgery and stupid Ozempic, but that doesn't mean we don't actually take care of ourselves anymore. So you can say, you can like that. You can like fat women. I'm not saying you can't have a fetish. I'm not saying you can't be attracted to her. But most people are fat. So they don't have a chance with anyone that's not fat. Usually if you take care of yourself, you want a partner that takes care of themselves. You're attracted not just to the physical, but you're attracted to the fact that that person takes care of themselves and they care and they exercise. You're attracted to the fact that they're healthy and they take care of themselves. So there's other things to that. So the fact, and this is like the title. Here's what I'm saying. Look, here's the title. Here's the title. This is one picture, and that's actually, she looks better in this than all the other angles. And people are commenting to my posts on X like, well, it's just the angle. I'm like, that's not an angle, bro. She's fat. She's fat. Right? Inside Jennifer Love Hewitt's secrets to staying fit and healthy. She is not fit. And what are you calling healthy? She's not fit. Stop. Don't call that fit. That's fucking insane. Okay, on the right, she's 20 something, but like, okay. Why? Just because you're 40 doesn't mean like you're 40 and, well, she's fat because she's 46. She's fat because she's obviously been eating everything for the past 20 years. So yeah, that's why there's only one reason. It's not the children. It's the fact that she eats too much. The same reason why people try to justify when you're pregnant, you gain 100 pounds. No, you don't. If you eat like a fat cow, you're not supposed to gain more than like 20 or 30 pounds during a pregnancy. Women just eat whatever the fuck they want as an excuse. And I'm pregnant. I'm eating for 2. You're not supposed to eat for 2. It's not a second person. It's a fucking small little, people justify all this shit. And if everyone's fat, then people have no concept of what fit is. People look at me like, oh my God, he's taking anabolic steroids. I don't. Fine. I'm fine if people think that. I don't. If I did, I would say so, but I just been working out. I've been working out for 25 fucking years. I'm 42 years old. So, okay. And if you're not in the industry, if you don't understand the human body, you think that anyone that has any kind of results takes some sort of injection. Anyone that has results takes a steroid. Because everyone, it couldn't possibly be you being a lazy fuck. It has to be someone else is doing something extra. Well, someone's injecting this, so they're in shape because they take this. They take 2 scoops of shut the fuck up and they go to the fucking gym and they eat good and they go to sleep, et cetera, et cetera. Ellie says, I only gained 25 pounds with both my pregnancies, and everyone was surprised. They're shocked. Oh my God, how'd you only gain 25 pounds? And Ellie's like, because you're only supposed to? That's it? It's the baby, it's the fluid and the placenta. It's like, you shouldn't be getting, like, there's no need to gain 50 or 60 or 70 pounds. If you're eating that much, it's because you're eating trash and you're pretending like, again, it's an excuse. Having a baby and getting fat is the same thing that people use for, like, it's let's say it's a football Sunday, we're going to a concert, or it's this. It's an excuse to eat and drink, and obviously you shouldn't be drinking and stuff when you're pregnant, but it's an excuse to eat shit. You use that as an excuse to eat shit. I just have a craving for Gatorade and Cheetos, and so what? Don't eat that. Eat real fucking food. It's just people make excuses to trash their bodies, and when everyone is fat, that looks normal. Like, that shouldn't be normal. And in that article, that's another thing. In that article, let me look it up. Let me see if I can pull up the article just while we're here. Okay, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. This is the bullshit scam grift. How does she stay in such good health and good shape? Well, she's not, like, in great shape. And there's different pictures, right? And I don't know when all of these were. And I'm not saying she's ugly. When I say she's fat, I'm not saying she's ugly. This is what people say, oh my God, the fat shaming. Yes, make fat shaming. Yes. If someone let themselves go, fine. It's an observation physically. I'm not saying she's ugly. I'm not saying she's a bad mom. I'm not saying she's a terrible person. I'm not saying I hate her fucking movies. She gained a shitload of weight and she doesn't hold back. And she says so. All right. Let's see this. That's all I'm saying. Like, and she says herself, right? Jennifer is all about balance when it comes to her meals and workout plans, a source told the Daily Mail, adding that the mother of three, quote, doesn't ever deny herself anything. Yep, we can tell. Rather than push herself to extreme measures, she takes it all in stride and feels much happier and confident that way. Okay, so she works out a little bit, but she obviously got fat. It's just an objective truth. And if she doesn't deny herself anything, feeling comfortable in my own skin, I'm sorry, but you're telling me she didn't fucking let it go? I know she didn't deny herself anything. I can see she doesn't deny herself anything. Okay. And this is usually because and this is usually because people and women that bring it up, right? I've seen someone say that, like, women, no one hates women more than other women. And this is true too, right? Women will call other women out because women want to, women like to bring them, it's passive aggressive and it's competitive, right? Women will attack and talk behind women's back, mean girls. Like, women are just like that. It's like high school for their entire lives for most women. It's just always attacking and undercutting another woman. Okay, so that's just par for the course. And if you don't think that's true, then you don't understand women. You never spend time with them. You never hear them talk about other women. They're just savages. So there's that. And then the women that are like, oh my God, she looks great. These are usually other fat women that are justifying their own obesity by allowing her, like, oh, they're not threatened by her because she's fat. They're not threatened by her because she's fat. So they're going to be like, I think she's beautiful. I think she's great just the way she is. Yeah, these are the women that like to keep a fat friend around because it makes them feel better about themselves. So there's two types of women that one would be like, oh yeah, she's fat. Or no, she's beautiful just the way she is. She's awesome. She's this, like, I love her. We have to normalize this. And inside they're like, yeah, we have to normalize this because I don't take care of myself either. It makes me feel better about myself. Well, if Jennifer Love Hewitt can get a little bit fat like this, wow, that means I'm doing better than. That's why women watch soap operas, because it makes their own lives feel better. Like, man, these people really have their lives fucked up. And then it makes them, they turn it off in the afternoon. They go back to their family and feel better about their lives. And maybe, look, and I'll also say maybe it's the dress. That dress wasn't flattering. Like, that's not a flattering dress. I mean, I don't know when these pictures are done, but she looks a lot better in this one. I don't know when this was, when was this taken? It could be the lighting. The dress is also nicer. It fits her figure better, right? That dress is ugly as shit. I mean, that's my opinion, but look, it makes you look flat. There's no curve, right? This doesn't... there's nothing flattering about that. Like, this is a beautiful dress. She looks great in this picture. I don't know when this was. She looks like she had less body fat too, but it could just be the cut of it. It could be the lighting, that just makes her look frumpy. And her hair looks, I mean, look, I'm not an expert, but her hair looks like shit. And her hair looks great in this picture. Like, her hair looks flat. It looks like she looks beat in this picture. Right? Okay, like her hair looks terrible. And then here, right? I mean, night and day. I don't know the dates. I don't see any dates and stuff like that. So, I mean, this is much better, right? So if she wore this, everyone would be like, damn, she's still fine. But then you do this and it's like, ugh, like her hair is bad. I mean, it's awful. It's an awful look for her. So, that's a part of it. And again, calling someone be like, she looks like shit in that picture. Look, you post stuff online, you're going to get people comments. Oh my God, people are so rude. Then don't post it. Don't make a movie. Don't go out in public taking pictures on the black or red carpet. Don't do that. You're going to get oh my God, you posted something online. You're going to get opinions. Of course you're going to get opinions. Get over it. And you did get fat. In that picture, you look fat. And she says, she doesn't deny herself anything. Yes, we can tell. Okay? As if having 3 kids is an excuse to get fat. But anyway, most people are fat. So people have no concept. The average person has no concept of what actually fit looks like. And women that are like, oh, you go, girl, you're awesome. It makes them feel better about themselves. They're trying to justify their own poor behaviors because they're probably fat. So having a celebrity that used to be better looking is getting older and put on 30, 40 pounds, like, well, it makes them feel better about themselves. And then other women are like, yeah, she's fat. So the women that say, yeah, she got fat, they're being honest. The other ones are doing that to fluff their own egos. And again, it has nothing to do with her personality. Not saying she's a bad mom. Not saying she doesn't love her kids. Not saying she doesn't. It has nothing to do with all that. So you're going to post stuff like this. And also, it's because of the way she used to look, and she was a sex symbol. And then you're going to say, like, I don't even know what a sex symbol was. Yeah, when you make movies like Heartbreakers and all this stuff where you're bending over and hanging out your tits, it's like, oh, stop. You make movies like just flaunting your tits and your ass, and it's like, yeah, but I am a sex symbol. I mean, this is ridiculous. Bro, please. But anyway, I think it's mostly the lighting probably and the dress. Dude, like that dress is awful. It's awful, but I don't know when these other pictures were taken. I love how look, all right, listen to this kind of stuff. It's like, really? You're going to say this kind of stuff? Like, yeah, when you hang your tits out, what do you expect? She reflected on the unsettling experience of being overly sexualized as a teenager. The actress talked about the inappropriate attention she received in her early years and how unsettling it was for her. Her tits were hanging out in every fucking thing she did. There were grown men talking to me at 16 about my breasts openly on a talk show. Well, if you hang your tits out all the time, yeah, they're going to talk about them. And people were laughing about it, she shared. It was a culture that was fully accepted, but when you sit and look at where we are now versus then, it's mind-blowing. Not really. Men are attracted to attractive women. And 16 is, look, 18 is legal, but you're fertile. 16, like in some cultures, 17 is, not considered underage. Like like 16 is, yeah, it's young, but like 17, 18, it's like, it's right around that fertile age where throughout history, women were given for marriage at like 13, 14. So yeah, it's not, when you have like a 55-year-old man with like an 18-year-old, it's like, ugh, that's all. But evolutionarily, it's not anything that's unheard of. Like that's why men are attracted to fertility and to new, and just new fertile. That's what men are wired to be attracted to. But it gets weird after a certain age, but I'm saying that's why. And when you're hanging your tits out for everything that you're doing, oh, but you have big tits. Like, well, if you saw the movies and stuff that she was doing, that's why. That's why. It's weird. When you're younger, it's like, oh my God, it's uncomfortable. Then you get older, you're like, where's all the attention? It's like, you had it, but then you didn't want it. Girls, right? When girls, Ellie says I had older guys hit on me at 17 because I had big boobs. And then, right, girls, right? When you have when your boobs get big in middle school and some girls develop earlier and the girls make fun of them. It's like girls are just cunts to one another. And then you get older and then you want bigger boobs and then girls are trying to cut and get like boob implants, right? You're happy. You want something that you don't have. Oh, the attention, that makes me uncomfortable. Then you get older, like I want the attention. And then when you're older and you want the attention, it's like, well, you don't get the attention anymore. There's other younger girls out there. Anyway. Yeah, she liked it when she was making money. Let's see. Hewitt admitted that being labeled a sex symbol before she even understood the concept felt really strange. You didn't understand the concept of a sex symbol when you were 16 or 17? You didn't understand you didn't understand the concept? Looks like you did. I remember the movies. I didn't know what being sexy meant. Not a 17, 18, like, really? You sure about that? Just because you know more now and you're older and you have perspective, come on, give me a break. Just because you're 17 doesn't mean you're retarded. Come on now. Come on, people. Come on now. People always say that. I had no idea what it meant. You have more perspective on it now. That doesn't mean that doesn't qualify you for being like mentally retarded. She recalled how men would approach her with unsettling remarks after posing for Maxim magazine in 1999 at just 17. No shit! Maxim magazine is essentially a swimsuit magazine. Maxim was like next to Playboy, only it was not nude, right? It was always like the Maxim. It was like the hottest girl, but it wasn't a nude magazine. Wow, men would approach her with unsettling remarks when she posed for a fucking swimsuit lingerie magazine. Come on, that's no sympathy, man. People would openly walk up and be like, I took your magazine with me on a trip last week. I didn't really know what that meant. It's kind of gross. Why is it gross? On a trip, you think maybe they were beating off to it. Fine. But guess what? They sell Maxim magazine at airports. Yeah. In 1999, I used to travel with Flex magazine. Doesn't mean I was beating off to the bodybuilders. You know, that's all you had. You didn't have the internet. It was like, you didn't have smartphones. You have magazines at airports. You go into the airport and you're waiting for your plane. You go and you buy a magazine for the flight. All right. But again, you know, you have dudes and men are attracted to women. If you guys didn't know that, men are attracted to women, attractive women. And if they're 16, 17, the human brain doesn't know the difference between 17 and 18. It's not like, oh, what's your ID? If you see an attractive young female, a lot of times that's when it gets creepy, right? It gets weird because a lot of times you can't tell if someone's there. I mean, the age, right? The biggest difference, like 14, 15, I'm not saying it's not, I'm saying like developmentally wise. But once you hit like 16, 17, it's hard to tell like if someone's 16 or 17 or 18 or 20. Like some girls look older, some girls look younger. You can tell when someone's like 14 or 15. Like they just have like a more of a childish features. But then 17, 18, it's like, you know, you're in college, you like developmentally, like the facial features and stuff. You can't tell if it's 17 or 20 sometimes or 22. And some girls are 25. They look 18. You can't tell. That's why you got to be careful. Be careful out there. But it's not unheard of. If you're going out there putting yourself on Maxim magazine, if you're going out and putting yourself out in these types of things, and oh my God, I got all this attention because you were hanging your tits out in a lingerie magazine. Pretty par for the course, isn't it? Weird. Yeah. And we still have teachers that have sex with students and stuff. You know, it gets gross. I'm not condoning. Like, I'm not saying like, yeah, go for those underage girls. But I'm saying when you're 17, 18, it's not weird. Like, it's not a weird thing. Like, wow, men were attracted to a 17-year-old on Maxim magazine. You're putting your shit out there for everyone to see. Yeah, people are gonna be like, wow, you look great. They're not thinking, you're 17 years old. They see someone on the cover of a fucking magazine and she's a movie star and stuff. Like, people aren't like, you know, they're not posting it doesn't say right there, she's only 17 years old, don't touch. They're saying, look, hot body, tits. Let's sell some magazines. It's like, you're gonna do that and then wonder why people are coming up to you. It's like, that's why you're putting it all out there. Anyway, go to the gym, take care of yourself. Don't go after underage girls. Let's see, what other tidbits and information can I impart? What other Swolosophy? Oh, this was funny. In closing. Yeah, they just want to sell magazines. They don't give a shit who is on the cover. They just want to sell. And she was hot and selling. This is funny. It's a meme. It shows Mike Obama and Barry Obama. Barry Soweto and it shows them both in bed, kind of looking off to the side, and it says each of them are thinking he's probably on the Epstein list, and then he's looking at it and saying he's probably on the Epstein list because she's a dude. You get it? You get it, Big Mike? You get it? You get it? You guys get it? All right, bada bing. All right, we'll end on that. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time. See you tomorrow for the Mancast. And yeah, go to the fucking gym. Peace, McGee's, Deuce Magoose, your boy Papa Swole. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like...
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Ay, yeah. Whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking